Hello everyone, welcome to the part 3 of the Fusion 360 to URDF series. So in this tutorial, we'll be creating a custom gazebo world and we'll learn how to spawn our robot in the world, and we'll do G mapping, that is we'll map our environment and then we'll perform autonomous navigation. So let's see, I have opened up my gazebo environment and we'll click on edit, and there is something called building editor. So here we can actually design a custom gazebo world. So let's make a random room something sort of thing for our robot to navigate. So one thing we need to closely observe is that this point here is actually where the robot is getting spawned initially. Actually we can change that, but for simplicity's sake, let's build a room around that. So I'm just making some walls for as the boundary so that the robot can navigate inside this area. It's nothing complex, anyone can do it. I'm just making random shapes and I'll close the building. So if you can see a small environment robot, our small environment is built where I can navigate my robot. We can add color, texture and anything to it. So let's make it attractive and add orange color to the walls. It's actually not necessary, but yeah, let's do it. Okay, so I have made my walls colored. Now we can actually save this with some name. My world is fine, so we'll save it here. It will take some time, and yes, so there's my world. And also you can actually insert many obstacles, scans, car wheels and stuff like that. So if you can see, there is a car wheel here and a cinder block, anything. There are a lot of things in this gazebo. So you can see, you can have a rag doll. Maybe we can have a plastic cup stoplight. What is the stoplight? Let's see. Yeah, we have a stoplight here, and anything we can add anything as we want. So as of now, let this be, and we'll save this. We'll save the world as. I'll go to my Catting workspace, src, and to my robot underscore description, that is my package, and I'll save it here with the name myworld.world. So not the extension, it should be myworld.world. This should be the extension. I'll save it here. So I guess it has successfully saved. Now I'll close my gazebo environment and let's see if it's there physically. And let's go on to Catting workspace, src, my robot underscore description, and yes, my world.world is here. So what I have done is I have created a folder named world to keep all our world files, that is all our gazebo environments. I'll do one thing, I'll copy this to here and I'll keep my world.world here so that I can easily make new environments and add it there and later do mapping and navigation. So what we can do next is we'll edit the launch file so as to launch our robot in this create the environment we created just now. So to do that, what we can do is we can pass an argument with the name world underscore name. So with this, if we pass the value of the file we just created now, we can actually spawn our robot in our gazebo environment that we just created. So the value will be the path to the file that we created. So we can do is find my robot underscore description and we'll close that. We have the file in a folder called worlds, right? WRD, yes, in worlds, yes, and inside that the name of my file was myworld.world. My world dot world. I'll double quote this and close it, and I'll close it with this. So world name and find my robot underscore description inside worlds folder. Hi my world dot world. Let's save it and see if it execute fine. So to execute is this ROS launch my robot underscore description and gazebo dot launch. Let's see if it will throw any error. It has successfully loaded. So let's see our robot in the gazebo world. It's getting loaded. And yes, you can see our robot in the gazebo world, and you can see all the other objects that we placed. It's still there. Let's see if our robot is still drivable. Let's do a ROS topic list. We should be able to see the command velocity. Yes, there is a command velocity. Just let's simply try to move the robot around. Let it load, and let me decrease the speed. Yes, the robot is actually moving, and I can control it without any issues. And you can see how the LiDAR rays are animated in the simulated environment because of the obstacle by the walls. Yes. And if we keep an obstacle here, you can see how the LiDAR rays are getting obstructed. So that is how we create a gazebo world and spawn our robot in that gazebo world. So next thing what we'll do is we'll see how we can integrate Gmapping and map the environment. Okay, so let's do the mapping part. So to do that we need something called Gmapping. It is a package available in ROS. You can find it in ROS wiki. So we need the Noetic file. You need to clone this into our Catling workspace and do a Catling make. I have already done this, and if you can see, I have this slam underscore Gmapping package. Yes, this package should be there in your Catling workspace to do Gmapping. Okay, so the next thing what we need to do is we need to create a launch file so as to launch the navigation, launch the Gmapping file. So to do that, I have already created a custom launch file here, but it's actually the same of what we can see in this package. I have just added another line in this. You can see this slam. This is actually for a robot called PR2. This is exactly the same thing I have used with just an addition of one line. That is, I have specified that the base frame is the base link and the odom frame is the odom. With just this addition of two lines, I have created this mapping.launch. So what we can do is I'll copy this full thing and I'll use this in my robot description package. So let's find my robot underscore description package. We have our launch files here. We'll maybe create a new file. Touch mapping.launch. Oops, sorry. I needed to create an open a terminal there. Yes. Touch mapping.launch. So this mapping.launch is here. I'll open this and I'll copy paste the entire thing. Let's make it to XML. And yes, we have everything here. We'll save this, and in order to do mapping we need two things, right? First we need to run our simulation. So to do that we'll do ROS run my robot underscore description followed by gazebo.launch. So the next thing what we need is we need RViz, as well as we need to run the Gmapping package. So let's open up RViz. The gazebo environment is loaded up. As you can see, the robot is here. Let's minimize this, and we'll open up RViz. And if you can see, I can add the robot model here somewhere. Yeah, the robot model. And there is a status error here because the fixed frame is as map. Let's do it to make change to Wasteling, and as you can see the robot is here. So let's run the navigation, the mapping package. To do that, we'll do ROS launch my robot underscore description laung my robot underscore description and mapping dot launch. Let's see what will happen. Something is happening, and what actually we needed was, if we click on map, and if we change the fixed frame to map, and we select the topic to map, our map should occur here. But there are some issues, right? It is showing some status error. It is showing that there is no transform from LiDAR 1 to map. So what might be the problem? So it's saying there is no transform. So let's check the TF tree. So let's open up RQT here. Let's wait for RQT to open up, and we'll see the TF tree. So if you can see here, the map is getting to Odom and the Wasteling and the right wheel one and the left wheel one. But there is no laser here, right? There is no transform we published from the laser to the Wasteling. So to fix this, what we can do is we need two things. That is, we need a joint state publisher as well as the robot state publisher. Okay, so in order to fix this issue, what we can do is we need this robot state publisher as well as joint state publisher. So what is this joint state publisher as well as robot state publisher? So the thing is, this joint state publisher is actually a node that takes in the joint values and publishes it. And the robot state publisher is actually another node that actually subscribes to joint state values and publishes TF. So the TF translation between all the links that we used in our robot is correctly published. So that's why we need these two nodes. So to do that, I can just copy paste these two commands, that is joint state publisher and robot state publisher. So adding these two will actually run the joint state publisher as well as the robot state publisher. So when we are adding these two, we need to make sure that the TF by the wheels and etc. are not published again. So to check that, what we can do is we need to go on to our URDF and my robot.gazebo. Let's see if the differential drive controller is publishing TF again. So this is publishing Odom that we want. This is publishing wheel TF as well. We will set it to false, or else continuous transforms, that is same transform, will be published again and again. And again there is a publish wheel joint state here. This will be published by the joint state publisher. We don't need this again. So I'll set that to false again. So I'll save this. So everything is set for us to do mapping. So first I'll run the simulation, and secondly let's wait for the simulation to open up. And yes, it is loading and successfully opened up. I'll minimize this and open up RS, and let's add our robot model. Let's change it to Wasteling and see if the robot is fully appearing. Yes, well and good. So let's run our mapping node, gmapping, that is ROS launch gmapping, ROS launch my robot underscore description and mapping dot launch. Now I'll click on map. And wait, I'll add a map here. I'll set the topic as map, and as you can see, the map is successfully generated. And to give it more clarity, we'll add laser scan too. We'll select the scan topic as scan, and we will maybe increase the size to 0.05. And now you can clearly see the LiDAR trace. And what we'll also do, we'll drive around the robot, so we can do cross run teleoptist keyboard.py, and we'll keep everything side by side. Where is the terminal? Yes, and I'll reduce the size. So let's drive the robot around by looking at the gazebo world here, and let's see if the map is getting successfully generated. So I'm driving the robot around. And as you can see, the map is perfectly getting generated to the left. So the map is successfully generated. As you can see, there's a small glitch here. That is because the wheel encoder, the odometry is not proper, and the wheel might, the robot might slip because of the frictional parameters. Actually, you can fix that. If the robot is perfect, it will create a perfect map. So this is because of the slipping of the robot. There's a small glitch in map because of the error in calculating odometry. So what we can do now is we need to save the map. So to do that, I'll just create and open a new terminal. To save the map, what we can do is we can do a ROS run map_server map. There is a node called map saver, and we'll save it say like my robot_map. And yes, my robot_map is saved. Let's go to the home folder and see if it is here. Where did I save that? Yes, I saved it in the home folder. Yes, my robot_map.pg. So if you can open this, you can see the map that is generated here. So that's it, guys. That is for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Cheers. Bye.